Well, it's interesting. We were going to start talking about liquor laws, and maybe Kim's drunk now because she spilled tea all over the table just while we were breaking.
It's a very expensive tablecloth.
Yes, that's right. How did you do that? What happened?
I just put it down with
Gusto?
vigor.
Well, now that segueing into the fact that our liquor laws here in Manitoba are changing, finally, the archaic laws are going out the window, and there's going to be a ton more freedom for both consumers and proprietors. For example, restaurants will no longer have to count their ratios of food to booze sold. You can just go in and have a beer, and you don't have to order a plate of wings that you don't even want just in order to drink your beer. You can go and have a drink and not have to eat anymore. As well, they'll be expanding it so that you can serve alcohol at places like hair salons, which is something that's done in many other cities. And I know when us ladies have our 4.5-hour hair appointments, it would be nice to have a glass of wine while I'm sitting there.
Or two.
Excuse me?
The exclusion.
Us ladies. Well, I guess ours are 6, so that makes sense for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, I was reading up on it yesterday, and it's interesting because currently there are 12 categories that you can buy licenses, and they're bringing it down to 3.
Yeah.
So even just in those numbers alone, it shouts just how much red tape there is and how confusing it is for business owners.
Exactly, and it's been very archaic as well. Like, you know, to have a cabaret license, you'd have to have live music. Well, now they're saying a DJ can be a cabaret license. Now, why you need to have a DJ in order to, like, I really don't understand that.
Can't get rid of all the red tape.
Yeah, well, I guess it's a good point. You can't just let it
So
be a
that
free for
cabaret
all.
license is one of the 3?
Yes, I
Okay.
believe
Yes.
so. Well, and I don't know if it'll necessarily be called that. They're going to phase it in over 2 years. So, you know, obviously restaurants will have the opportunity to take down lounge walls. Like, you won't have to have a separate lounge anymore.
Wow.
Which is kind of a change in thinking, right? Because you go to Boston Pizza, you go to wherever.
That's the first place I
The
thought.
K, whatever.
Yes, what's Boston Pizza going to do?
Well, no, but
decision when
really,
you walk
so,
in the
I mean, I'm
door.
sure a lot of places will continue to have a separate room that sort of separates people who do just want to come in for drinks and watch the game and what have you, and then the restaurant side where maybe families are coming into, but there's a lot of smaller places. They can tear down that wall and just be open, because isn't it frustrating? You walk into a restaurant on a Friday night, half of it's empty, but it's because they can't fill those seats because people don't want to just have a drink. They have to have food, you know, whatever. So, will you have a drink at the hair salon?
I can't wait.
I'll have a drink anywhere they'll let me have it.
Like underwater, like anyway.
I don't think that's part of the new rules, unfortunately.
I just hope I'm not judged for making 11 a.m. haircut appointments all of a sudden. You know what I mean? Like, I have them in late afternoons now, and now it might have to be bumped up depending on how the morning meetings go.
Yeah, right. No, but really, isn't it interesting? It is interesting. Now you can actually buy booze in some supermarkets, which
And it's a huge. I mean, it's very wet over here. It is a huge complaint. I mean, you hear it every summer, especially as people in Winnipeg who have to endure very, very cold more than half of the year. We get outside, we want to enjoy the patios and all of these things, and you go to like Canada Day. And I know this won't change, but Canada Day celebrations on Osborne, and people want to be able to walk around with a drink and things like that. And I know that's even further. But if you go to somewhere like Quebec, you can do that, right?
Yeah.
You can take booze around, and just Manitoba has been so conservative in all of their laws, and people commented on it all the time when they travel here. And I'm excited to see that Manitoba seems to be finally maybe catching up.
Yeah.
And even further to your point, one thing, I was reading this article on the Free Press website, and just the fact that you'd say you have a picnic with your family or something like that. You go to a park, to be able to have the freedom eventually, hopefully, fingers crossed, to maybe have a drink, or you know what I mean, like on a summer day.
A friend of mine who also has some little kids, we went for a picnic, and he bought like non-alcoholic beers, but they look exactly the same.
Yes, I know.
Definitely.
And who's fooling anybody with those foam things that you put around your beer on the beach?
Right,
Like, really,
exactly.
who is fooling
Or-
anybody?
Yeah, if you want to fool someone, what you do is you take a brown paper bag.
Oh, yes, no one will ever know.
What is that, milk? Yeah.
On the beach. That's what,
When you're traveling in the States, their liquor laws are just so
There's
much
no
different.
laws,
There is
right?
no
Yeah.
laws. There is no laws.
free
And
for all.
it'll be interesting too, whether you think of all these places now that you can drink alcohol, is this going to raise, alcoholism or whatever? I don't think it will. I think because you just make it more of a lifestyle thing, there isn't that kind of, I'm going to drink my face off because I can't drink when I go out there.
I totally agree. I feel like, I mean, people are going to be on one side or the other, right? But I feel when I've been to Europe, especially, it's just such a cultural thing that people just have alcohol with stuff. You're not teaching your kids to binge drink. And in Canada, we say, oh, don't. You see all these commercials on TV, like, don't let your kids see you drinking out of martini glasses because they'll pretend to be drinking out of martini glasses with their little friends, and then they're going to be alcoholics.
Exactly.
But it's
Throw a
like
dinner party.
I'm so much more about, you know what, this is something that adults do.
Put it out
but
there.
I'm going to teach you how to do it respectfully and
Yeah.
responsibly.
Interestingly,
instead of hiding it.
Australia, they're very open about booze consumption,
New
but
Zealand, too.
but alcoholism rates are rampant. I mean, it's frightening, the alcoholism rates there. And when I visited Australia, it was stunning to me to see how much people drank as just a regular course, like every day, all the time. I was quite shocked, obviously, coming from here, and we're much more conservative, as you said. It was stunning. So there is some kind of fine line that
But
has
is
to
that
be.
because there's such a high level of tourism? Because I mean, a place like a place like France or whatever, you go to one of the, go to Paris or something, and that's just a cultural city, and there's a lot of people who are French, and that's just part of their culture. Whereas in Australia, the liquor laws may be open, but you've got tons of American or Canadians going there and being like, I can drink booze in the street, woo!
Well,
right?
it was,
Like,
it was the Aussies that I spent
Yeah,
time with.
Australians drink. Yeah, they drink.
Yeah, it is a big part of their culture. It's a big, I don't know if you want to call it celebratory kind of culture, but it's just sort of inherent, and they're kind of proud of it. That's what I experienced, that people were really Aussie, 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 oi, 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 and pounding them back. And I was there during Australia Day, and it was really staggering to see people walking around with beers in their hands. Like you could just, it's so free and out there, but there doesn't seem to be that limit. And of course, not all Australians are alcoholics. I'm not by any means suggesting that. I don't want anybody to get that impression, but it was just a real different attitude towards it there. And it's, you come back. So I think there's a fine line, and I appreciate that we're moving into the current century, because it's silly. You travel, you go an hour and a half down to Grand Forks from here, and you can, or 2 hours, whatever it is, and suddenly you're free to drink as much as you want wherever you want, kind of thing. And it'll be interesting to see.
You guys will have to excuse my ignorance. Is there any sort of provision in the new changes that accounts for like restaurants to allow someone to bring their own wine to the restaurant?
Well, you can do that now.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that changing at all, though?
I don't think they're taking it away.
Okay,
No.
cool. No.
I didn't hear anything about that, so I would imagine it's
But I
just
mean,
going to
like,
remain.
you needed a certain kind of license for that, though, right? Previously, or no?
I don't know. You're
Okay.
throwing a curveball. I don't know.
Maybe it was just the amount of places that offered that wasn't enough for me. But I thought, like, I would go to like Montreal, and they would have like lists online of like all the BYOW places. And
Yeah.
it's
Well,
not as popular here, and I think that's something that we should really get into, because that's cool.
Well, and it costs a lot less to
Well,
purchase
exactly.
your
That's
wine
what I
and bring
mean
it.
by
But
cool,
no,
yeah.
it's I don't know, and I think it is a choice by establishments if they want to offer that
Yeah.
service or not. And I think they're just leaving it to a choice, and maybe places just aren't interested in taking the cut on their alcohol sales. I mean, bottom line, right? It eats into their profit. So why would
Yeah.
they? It would.
Well,
Well,
I
because
would say
it
that
brings
if
in
you-
tons of customers,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Well, perhaps.
Either way.
Yeah.